2 seconds later.
Rebuild. Man, this should be stripped. Brand new belt, man. It's not even spinning. Yeah, so that bolt or something broke in there. That hub. Timing chain broke. We're pulling up the crank pulley. As you can see, I probably put a clip in already. It had a lot of wobble in it. I mean, I think the sprocket or the crank hub had. Oh yeah, it's gone. Oh yeah. Wow, dude. The bolt stripped. Whatever caused that to. Yeah, that's no good. The car did have, I did have the Vargas crank bolt lock, but it's not pinned. Sticking out quite a bit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the timing chain broke, or if it didn't break, I'm pretty sure the valves are bent.
So that's almost supposed to be flush?
Yeah, that's supposed to be all the way in.
Show them the T51R we just got installed.
Yeah, everything was just fresh. T51R mod. We'll give you guys a rundown of when this motor comes out, because it's going to have to come out.
Oh, it's coming out.
Yeah, that's for sure. Alright guys, we went and got the old motor removed. We got a new motor that already has the spline crank hub fixed in there, and we're going to go ahead and get that installed. Basically, what we're going to do today is drop the subframe, get the motor sat on, and put the transmission on there. We're going to pull off the valve cover. I'm going to plug the head ports with the Vargas included the kit. Actually, I think I just dropped it. Oh, right here. So it's this little guy right here. It comes with the tap and the plugs. But yeah, that's it. We're going to get going on it, and I'll fill you guys in, and once I get the subframe dropped and stuff like that. All right, guys. Alright, so I got the wheels off. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull the calipers off, and since I have bags, I'm just gonna pull that one bolt and drop the whole knuckle and leave the strut. This side got the knuckle drop, left the strut, and the caliper still hanging here, and the sway bar end link still there. And we move on to that side. Alrighty, got this side all dropped. What we're gonna do, go ahead and go up. So I think I only have 4 of the subframe bolts in, so what you do is just go up, make sure everything's clear, and then I'm gonna use jack stands because I don't have the actual thing to lay the subframe on, but it should do the job. And also have to remove the steering shaft right there. So I already had the bolts out, because obviously I already knew it was coming back out. Alrighty. So we have the subframe out. I already did replace the new motor mounts with the 034 Motorsports ones. All they do is just remove the hydraulic filled ones and make it solid rubber rather than any poly or anything. I'm gonna go ahead and try to set it on the subframe. That way we can start, actually first start with disassembling the valve cover, intake, all that, and then we'll go ahead and assemble it. Alright guys, we got the motor on the subframe. Basically what I'm doing right now is just disassembling all the stuff I threw on. I'm gonna disassemble the rail, pull off the valve cover. I'm gonna be doing the ports, I think I talked about in the beginning of the video. All right, guys, went in and got it tapped. I don't know if you can see those very well. I'm gonna focus. So they're in. Should do the job. What I'm gonna do is just throw a little bit of silicone on them, just to seal, help the gasket seal. And other than that, we should be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and get the valve cover on. I know Vargas, they recommend only hand tightening them and then heat cycling and hand tightening again. Since this is a single car, I'm gonna just have to give these bottom ones a little extra torque. Alright guys, got the valve cover all torqued down. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and throw the fuel rail back on. All the injectors. Make sure these guys are in. Start the assembly process, man. So my NGK spark plugs are already installed. So go ahead and get the spark plug coils on. I think Vargas and I designed it to where the boot could sit right in here and give it a slight angle. Okay, coils are in. What I'm gonna do is tighten this guy up, and then I'm gonna assemble all this. Put the alternator on real quick. Run the wiring for that. Run all the wiring is there. Alright guys, so we went ahead and got quite a lot on actually. Got the whole engine harness on, throttle body, intake manifold. Basically everything for the driver's side is on other than AC compressor. For my car, since it has the, since it is single, it has the, what you call that, the JP kit. The manifold, actually, the wastegate is not two pieces. So what I usually like to do is just install the manifold and then shift the whole engine and transmission to the driver's side a little to get it up, and then shift it back over. And the AC compressor is pretty easy to install afterwards. It's just 3 bolts, 1 wire. I'm gonna go in later, clean all this wiring up. I think M18, they make it for their valve cover where it has a cover here. So once I get the B58 coils, I think I'll make something with sheet metal or something. We'll see. Obviously we have some parts here, but that's all stuff that goes on after anyway, except the boost lines, the wastegate lines. I'm gonna work on getting the whole flywheel, pressure plate, twin disc setup lined up, and we'll go ahead and put the start of the transmission on. That way we could balance it out a little. These are rigid organics from Twin Disc, from X Clutch, if anyone wants to know. Alrighty, that's in. Let's go ahead and get the alignment tool on there. That's this guy. No one knew X Clutch to actually give you a nice nice metal alignment tool. Pretty cool. And then when you're installing this, just make sure it says gearbox side. I actually ran this clutch for about 600 miles, so I just want to put it back exactly how it was, just so the surfaces are already mated. Flywheel side.
And those hold everything in place?
So yeah, that's the clutch. And I have 2 discs because race car. All right, guys. So went ahead. I got the transmission hung up right now. Let's go to the bell housing bolts in. All right, she's back in. Got the subframe bolted up, steering linkage attached. Obviously we're gonna have to go through and do all the rest of this little stuff, but I'm gonna go up. All right, she's in. Perfect time to go ahead and get that turbo drain bolt on when the motor and the transmission is dropped right now, or lowered at least. And also I got the thermostat wire right here hanging out because I couldn't get that. All right, guys, I didn't really do much recording after the crank bolt stretching. I really just went ham and just started putting stuff together because it's really hot out here. But here's kind of the progress where we're at. Turbo's installed, the wastegates are on, downpipes on, catch can, all the wiring is done. Just got to put the cover on and mount the reservoirs, both reservoirs, and install the fan. But I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up first.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
All right, guys, we already got the suspension all buttoned up. Let's see how the first drive goes.
How's the clutch feel?
Clutch feels pretty good. It's a little touchy, guys. I mean, if you guys never drove a twin disc car, it's gonna be pretty challenging, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty touchy. It's pretty on and off switch.
Let's hope crank fully holds, huh?
Yeah. Got that on camera. Need to put those bolts in, guys. So this motor does have the spline crank hub from Vargas, and let's see how she holds up.
This happened to what, 4 motors including Bryson's?
Yeah, so this, from our experience, this has happened to 2 other cars, and to this car once. So in our experience, 3 times. She's still on low boost, guys. We're not gonna really turn it up right now until we get some milestone in it, make sure everything is good.
Yeah, get it broken in a little. Alright guys, car seems to be running pretty good. We just gotta dial in the tune a little bit more. But make sure you guys stay tuned to Psychotic Street Builds. We got plenty more builds coming.
Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe.